Free by the Rolling Stones is the perfect song, perfectly covered. A period in my life in which I really became aware of or paid more attention to music was in the early 90s. Someone I dated really knew his stuff, and I learned a lot from him. And he introduced me to the Soup Dragons, and I made a video about their cover of this perfect song last summer. It wasn't until another friend with vast and deep knowledge of all things music played another version of I'm Free on his radio program, and I realized that the Soup Dragons version was a cover. And then I found out that the song was also covered by other artists as well. I'm Free was written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards for their 1965 album Out of Our Heads, and was also included on December's Children. And it was the B-side of one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs, Get Off of My Cloud. It's quintessential, bluesy, folky, early, mid-1960s Stones, indicative of their particular sound of that era. I don't know, maybe because of Brian Jones' rhythm guitar, it had a particular sound. It doesn't have any of those harder edges of later Stones songs, and definitely echoes, I think, that youth vibe of the moment during that transition from mid-60s mod to hippie culture. You know, when young people were really creating their own culture and style and music that was completely different and free from traditional norms. That tambourine, that organ, mixed delivery, Keith's guitar, yum, yum, yum. Want to get me a Mary Quant miniskirt, a fitted turtleneck, and start doing the Freddie. The mono version, which we were just listening to, is out of sight. The song really gets the funk treatment and a whole new vibe from Geneva, New York's very own Wilmer and The Dukes. I actually think this R&B version grooves a lot more than the Stones version. It opens with a fantastic saxophone and is just as fresh and fun and funky as can be. It's got a groove that just makes you want to shake it. Wilmer and the Dukes were primarily a garage R&B cover band founded in Geneva, New York in 1957. In fact, they practiced in a literal garage, a garage at the Felice Trucking Company. They had a very large following playing the Finger Lakes, Central New York, Western New York, that bar circuit of this region all throughout the 60s. At one club in particular, called the Inferno in Williamsville, which is a suburb of Buffalo, they regularly played sold-out shows with lines of fans winding down the street waiting to get in. Blue Oyster Cult lead singer Eric Bloom first saw them perform at the infamous Holiday Bar and Grill, or if you went to school in Geneva, you just called it the Holiday, when he was a student at Hobart College. Wilmer and the Dukes played at his fraternity, Tau Kappa Epsilon, and Bloom's college band Lost and Found opened for them at the Holiday. Wilmer and the Dukes' version of I'm Free charted in both Buffalo and Rochester as the B-side of their original song, Heavy Time, which unfortunately did not chart. I've already discussed Soup Dragons' 1990 version, which I absolutely love. And as I said, it was my first taste of this perfect song. The Soup Dragons made it into an early 90s alternative Madchester scene gem, and adding a reggae-infused vibe thanks to Junior Reed's influence. Their version was really the band's only big hit, along with Divine Thing, and appeared on their album Love God. Every version of this song is, well, perfect in its own way, reflecting changing music tastes of each era and each band's uniqueness. The essential thing here is that it is a perfect song, and perfect songs are timeless. Give these versions a spin or a download and enjoy. I'm Free is the perfect song.